Welcome to 100 Yards of Football this morning. I'm your host, Vincent Turner, and today we got an NFL Draft Prospect Special. Today, the player that we're going to highlight is Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle out of Northwestern University. So, if you like the video today, please come in and share it here on 100 Yards of Football. And joining me today is my special guest. He's a former pro scout with the New York Jets when Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick were there from 1997 to 1999. He's a writer for the Detroit Lions with the Sports Illustrated. My man coming out of Key West, Florida, the very talented Daniel Kelly. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it as we highlight Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle out of Northwestern University. So, Mr. Kelly, tell me what you like about Mr. Slater.
Good morning, Mr. Turner. Thank you for the introduction. Absolutely. I'm excited. I'm super excited about Rashawn Curry. Rashawn Slater. This is a guy that actually is a top 10 pick in my mind, because he is somebody who, if Redskins fans remember Jim Lachey, back in the day, Jim Lachey was somebody who was a technician. Jim Lachey is somebody who didn't allow the defensive end to get to the quarterback. I see the same thing happening with Slater. You know, when I first saw Slater, I thought, well, hey, is he related to Jackie Slater? But it turns out he wasn't. He's related to his dad, played in the NBA instead. This is a guy who has a 6'3", 315, a guy with big, long arms, a guy who can slide out naturally on the perimeter, a guy who uses his hands extremely well to punch, very athletic, very tough, very physical when he needs to be. But here's the key. He stays off the ground most of the time. Will he finish blocks? Yes, he will. He's extremely impressive. In my mind, Mr. Turner, he's a guy who's better than Penei Sewell. I think this is the top offensive lineman in the NFL draft this year. And against the run blocking, what was super impressive, I can't tell you from how many offensive linemen I've watched in the National Football League who cannot get to the second level. When I say second level, I mean out to the linebackers and make a block. Most of these guys are very tight in the hips. Most of these guys, it's like trying to shoot a trap with a BB gun. It's like they try to take a shot, and most of the time they miss. But with Slater, he gets out to the second level against linebackers with ease, can seal the lanes, and not only seal the lanes, but control the lane that he needs to control. This guy is super impressive. He is somebody who can come in, plug in immediately, probably going to make a Pro Bowl his first season is my prediction. This is going to be a 10 to 15 year starter, all pro type of offensive lineman. There's nothing about him I don't like. He's a technician. If you open Webster's dictionary and looked up offensive left tackle, you would see a picture of this guy. He's everything you want in a left tackle.
What I like about Mr. Slater, and you gave some good analysis of him, I'm going to keep it real short and sweet. Footwork, A+. As you said, excellent athlete, A+. But what I like about him is his versatility. Versatility, Mr. Kelly. 26 starts at the right tackle position. Then they moved him over in his career, and he started 11 times at the left tackle. This is the biggest key about Rashawn Slater that I love. I ain't going to say like, love. In his career, 355 pass blocking snaps. He gave up 0 sacks.
There we go.
That's telling me the young man is very good with his footwork. That's why I gave him an A+. He comes from Northwestern University. Great players that came out of there. Chris Hitton, I think, was a pretty good tackle in the league.
Yes, he
Pat
was.
Fitzgerald, who's the head coach, was a pretty good football player. Donnell Autry, who came out in '96 on their Rose Bowl team, was a good player. And Damian Anderson, who was an All-American, All-Big Ten in 2000, was a pretty good player. So you can see those guys I just mentioned are very good football players. Then another thing I like about Mr. Slater, football IQ off the charts. 3-time academic All-American. So that's telling me that the guy's getting the schoolwork and he's focused. Because Northwestern, let's keep it real, it's a school that you gotta be able to manage your athletics with your academics. But most of all, when you talk about his game translating to the NFL, I'm gonna put some players out there this game really reminds me of. Jordan Williams, who's with Cincinnati, was Alabama, was very versatile. Eaton Jenkins out of Mississippi State with the Green Bay Packers was very versatile. Rodney Hudson, who came in the league as a guard with the Kansas City Chiefs, now with the Las Vegas Raiders in the center. That's what Mr. Slater. We talking about him at the left tackle position, but he's a guy that can play every position along the line of scrimmage. And if you want to go old school, you mentioned Jim Lachey, but when I did my research, he reminds me of a guy that came out of Texas Southern, who was the left tackle with the New York Jets on that 69 Super Bowl team with Joe Willie Namath, my man Winston Hill, who was a 5-time Pro Bowler back in the day. So everything I like about Mr. Slater, I love. I'm not going to say he's the best tackle in the draft, but I'm going to say Mr. Sewell is A and Mr. Slater is A-. Final words about Rashawn Slater, Mr. Daniel Kelly.
I love him. I love your analysis of him, Mr. Turner. I think this is a guy that's going to be a big-time player. You know, here's the thing. When I went back and I watched him against Ohio State, and I watched him play against Chase Young. He handled Chase Young. This is a guy that, and to your point, to the versatility, this is a guy who reminds me also of another Washington Redskins offensive lineman, and that would be Riley McKenzie, number 63, who played every position along the offensive line. The value of this guy is off the charts. He's going to go top 10. He's going to be off the board pretty quickly. And I can't say enough great things. I mean, I sit around all day watching guys who are, as Bill Parcells called them, Jags, which stands for just another guy. I watch these guys are stiff in the hips and can they come a dime a dozen. And when I see somebody like a Rashawn Slater, I see greatness. It's exciting. I got excited watching the tape. I'm excited for his future, and I'm excited for whatever team gets him.
My final words about Rashawn Slater. I'm going to go back to a song back when I was at the University of Arkansas, Pig Suey, by a young man out of San Antonio, Texas, by the name of Christopher Cross, Ride with the Wind. Mr. Rashawn Slater is going to ride with the wind in the National Football League for the next 10 to 15 years. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. As I always end the videos, I'm Vincent Turner, a.k.a. the only son and the baby boy of Chester and Inez Turner from the 901, Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you, Mr. Daniel Kelly, and we'll see you next week here on 100 Yards of Football. Have a blessed day.